Hi, I'm Sahar,
And I'm Shreya. Welcome to our show, Only Spoilers.
where I tell Shreya about a book that I've read or a movie that I've watched. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about the movie Fair Play. Are you going to watch it, Shreya?
Definitely not.
So let me tell you all about it.
Okay. Okay, so the movie is Fair Play. Is this the one on Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay, the one with the girl from Bridgerton?
Yeah, with Daphne.
With Daphne?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was really excited to watch that, but I'm not, so.
Oh, okay. I watched it without you, then I was like, I would just tell her about it.
Yeah, it looks like a thriller, so.
Oh,
Right?
oh, really? You think so?
That's what I thought when I saw it.
Interesting. Okay.
I thought it was a thriller, and I was like, oh, bad stuff's gonna happen, and I don't want to watch something with bad stuff right now, so I didn't watch it. But yeah.
Okay. So there's this couple at a wedding. They're really drunk, really happy, really in love. And then this guy, so his name is Luke, and his girlfriend's name is Emily. So he's like, oh, let me introduce you to my family. He introduces her to an uncle, and he's like, oh, why don't you have a drink in your hand? It's an open bar. I'm buying for everyone. It's some relative's wedding, right? And then they're dancing and they're very happy. And then they sneak out to a bathroom to have sex. And then while doing it, he realizes like there's blood everywhere. And then she realizes that she got her period, and then they're both freaking out because she's wearing like a beige satin dress, and they're really drunk. So they're like, "Oh my god, what are we gonna do? We still have to take family pictures." They're laughing. She's trying to clean herself up and everything. And then a diamond ring falls out of his pocket, and then she's like, "What the fuck is that?" And he's like, "Oh, I wanted to do, this at a special uh, place or something, but will you marry me?" And then she's like, "But you're drunk, like, it doesn't feel happy or, intimate like that." But he's like, "No, I bought the ring. When I bought the ring, I was sober. You're everything to me. And I love you, and I really want to do this with you." So she says yes. They sneak out of the wedding, go home, and then Emily texts her mom about the engagement, and they go to bed. So next morning they wake up super early, get ready for work, and then she's really, she's admiring her ring and everything. She still can't believe that they got engaged, and then they both leave for work, but she leaves her engagement ring at home on the table.
What's their dynamic? Like, does she like him or like?
Oh yeah, they're really in love.
Oh, okay,
like,
okay.
really, really
Okay, cool.
in love.
Okay.
Yeah. So why does she sound like she doesn't like him?
No, I was just wondering.
Oh, no. She's happy.
Oh, okay.
They're both equally into each other.
Mhm.
That's why she said yes.
Okay.
She was just second guessing it because they were really drunk. So she's like, "Oh, are you sure you want to do this
Yeah.
right here, right now? Just because I saw the ring, you don't have to do it here." But
Okay,
he's like, "No, I want to do this. I want to do this right."
Mhm.
So they both go off to work. Turns out they work at the same firm. They are both like in finance. So they're both analysts and everything. And their work has a policy that coworkers can't date each other. So nobody at work knows that they're together, let alone now engaged.
Okay.
And then at work, they act all, like strangers or just colleagues. They know each other, as coworkers and everything. And then that day, one of their project managers gets fired, like a really public and violent firing, because he gets angry and he starts breaking monitors and stuff, and he gets escorted by security out. And then everybody's freaked out, but they're like, "Oh, so there's like, position open. Everybody is trying to vie for that promotion and all of that." And then Emily hears two people talking how Campbell, who's their boss, might be promoting Luke. So she goes up to him in the pretense of talking about some shares and stuff, and like quietly tells him that, "I heard that you might be getting the promotion." And he gets really happy, and oh wow. And then they go home, and then they celebrate their engagement. They're really happy. And then he says, "Oh, I'm so lucky." And she asks him like about the job. "Why do you feel like that, about the job or about me?" And he's like, "Let me think about both." And then they're just joking around. No, then she asks him like, if you had to pick between me and the job, like, because it's against the rules and everything, he's like, oh, I would think about it, but I would still pick the promotion. But it's all in joke, right? But she's like, no, I'm very proud of you. He thinks that she is jealous, but she's not. She's very proud of him. But he's like, don't worry, now that I'm in a position of power, I'll help you get the next promotion. And once we're both project managers, nobody can touch us. We'll tell them about our engagement and everything. But let's just wait for now. She wants to tell everyone, but he doesn't want to right now. So she's like, fine. And then in the middle of the night, or like at 2 a.m., she gets a phone call from one of the coworkers or from one of the other project managers. And then Luke is like, who is it? Why are you answering the phone? She's like, I have to. Like, it might be important. He called me 6 times and he goes back to sleep. And then so Rory asks her to meet at this bar, and she gets up, gets ready, and goes. And then when she reaches that bar, Rory is in there, but their big boss, Campbell, he's sitting at the bar. And then she's like, I was supposed to meet Rory, and he's like, said, we need to talk. And then he asks her, or he tells her that, how long have you been with the company? And she's like, oh, for 2 years. She's like, and then he's like, we're very proud of you. Like, you're very smart. She's very smart. Like, she went to really good schools and she got published by the Wall Street Journal at 17 and everything. So she's really good at her job. And he sees that. And then he gives her the promotion. She becomes the project manager.
Oh.
And she is shocked, but obviously she's happy.
Wait, so her fiance thought that he was gonna get it?
Because she heard the rumor.
Oh.
And she tells him that you're going to get the promotion, but she actually gets it.
How did she hear the rumor?
From the coworkers.
But what were the coworkers saying?
Like, oh no, now Luke is next in line. Like, he's going to get the job.
Okay.
She hears the exact words, like, Luke is going to get the job.
Oh, okay.
But actually she gets it.
Okay.
So she goes home, and Luke is waiting up for her. He's like, what happened? Like, what did Rory want? And she's like, actually, I didn't meet Rory. I met Campbell. And he's like, why? What? Like, what did he want? Like, did he do something? Like, did he try something? She's like, no, like, no, why would he? I mean, and then she's like, and then she tells him that, I got the promotion. Like, I'm taking Quinn's job. And he's like, okay, congratulations, I'm proud of you. And like, there's no excitement, no nothing on his face. And then like, she's like, oh, I mean, I'm really sorry, like, I'm sorry I took your job. He's like, no, don't think like that, you deserve it. But there's not a single ounce of happiness or proud on his face. He's clearly jealous and upset, right? And she also doesn't know how to manage his feelings, because she's also dealing with a lot. She just got engaged, and she also just got the huge promotion, and like, everything is in the balance now. So
awkward.
Exactly. I was like, oh my god. And then again, the next day they go to work. She's all happy, and she has this strut in her walk and everything. And then she goes and sits in the office, the cabinet for the project manager. And then Rory comes in and congratulates her. And it's like, if I was hard on you, it was just because I care about you, and then, the company and everything. He's just trying to kiss ass now that she is equally as important as him. And then they all go for meetings, and she really knows her shit. So whatever questions come up, she backs it up with facts and proper research and everything. Right. And then Luke becomes the analyst that has to work under her. So she's now his boss. And then she assigns him this, like, oh, do this analysis for me and then get back to me. And this man, instead of like doing his full research, he just tries to, or like, no, she gives him this work, and then she asks him a bunch of follow-up questions on their like teams and stuff. And then he stops replying to her. Like, he's giving her like one word replies, and she can see him sitting on his desk, like from her cabin, but he's just like staring at his computer, not replying to her. And she's like, oh, I mean, she doesn't understand. She just thinks like, oh, maybe he's still recovering from my promotion and stuff. And then she goes home. He's not at home. She calls him. He doesn't answer. And then she finds him at the local bar near their house where they live, or near the apartment where they live. And then she's like, "Hi, can I buy you a drink?" And then he's like, "Why? Because you make more money than me now?" And she's like, "The fuck, bro?" And he's like, "I was just kidding." Here, he orders her a drink. They talk about it, and then
Yeah,
he's like,
that's where I would end the movie. Again, how many minutes into the movie is this?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I definitely, if this was the 10-minute mark, I would have been like, all right, bye.
Yeah.
That's kind of ass for him to say that.
Exactly. And then they get the drink, and then they go home, and she then they again, like, she's trying to cheer him up or something, because even though, like, he didn't get the promotion, but it's still their week of engagement, right? Like, he's not even ready to celebrate that. And then she keeps getting calls and messages from her mom, and her mom is like, "You texted me that you got engaged, and then you disappeared on me. Let me just at least congratulate you." She's like, and then Emily tells her mom that, "Please don't tell anyone, please don't tell anybody that I'm with Luke and I'm engaged to him, because if the word gets back to my office, we are both fucked. We're both gonna get fired." She's like, "Don't worry about that. Who am I gonna tell? Just let me celebrate your engagement."
Who said that?
Emily's mom.
Okay.
And then she gets annoyed and hangs up on her mother because she's clearly stressed because of Luke.
Yeah.
And then they go to work. The power dynamic has shifted because she is doing really well. He isn't. He's struggling. And then he tries to push this um stocks on her, like, "No, you have to buy it, you have to buy it." And then she's like, "No, but you have to finish the analysis first. Until then, I'm not making the decision." And then and she's like, "I'm gonna help you get the next promotion, because now I'm in a power position. Whenever the next job opens up, I'll put your name in, so that we both get the promotion." That was their plan all along. Whoever gets it, or like if Luke was gonna get it, he was gonna help Emily. And then Campbell and the other big boss, they walk in, they're like, "Oh, let's go, Emily, we want to take you out for a drink to celebrate." And then she's like, "Oh, hold on, I wanted to talk to you about this unicorn, like this new thing that Luke found, and I think we should really look into it." And the other person, he's like, "Do you know how much the last new thing that Luke found cost us? It cost us $15 million. So don't let him push his ideas on you. Let him he can just steer your thinking, but just do your full research before you bring up anything that he says to us." And then she's humiliated, he's humiliated, but then
What, was he standing there?
Yeah, this happened
When
in
they said
front of
that?
him. Yeah, this happened in front of him.
No way.
Yeah.
My God, that takes balls. But they're in finance.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. They're all dicks to each other.
Yeah.
So
she didn't know this about him
mm-mm,
before?
no.
Okay.
Because they didn't really work with each other. They worked for like different people. So she didn't really know, because she thought, like, if he's still there, he's doing something right. But then she gets promoted because she's obviously doing way, way better than him. And then she goes out drinking with them because she's like, "Oh, I'm buying, let's go." Because now that she's his boss, she can't be just like, "Oh, I can't hang out with you," and all of that. She has to hide her relationship. So she goes out drinking with them. They're all happy. And then she again tries to pitch Luke to Campbell, like, Luke is really good at his job and this and this. And he's like, "Are you serious? Like, the only reason he's at the company is because a friend made me hire him."
Shut up. Oh my God.
So please, he's a total loser. just
Oh my God.
We can't fire him, so we're waiting until he quits.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. And
wait, then I don't get it. Then why did she overhear him?
I don't know. It was just a rumor, right?
But they heard.
No, they didn't hear anyone. They were just thinking that Luke is next.
Why would they think that if Luke is ass?
I don't know, bro.
Suspicious. The writers.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, I didn't latch on to this detail.
Oh, okay.
Because it was a rumor. People talk shit. They have their own speculations, right? "Oh, we think he's doing good, and all of that." Maybe those people worked under analysts too. They didn't know what was going on.
Okay.
It was just, what is that? Water cooler talk.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, fine.
That's not
Doesn't make
important.
sense.
It's not important. So,
The dynamic is kind of strange though, that they would think that Luke would get the promotion next, but like even if it was a rumor, like him being like not being a good performer, and even if the boss thinks so too.
but the
then-
bosses are the only ones who actually know how good or bad he's doing.
Oh,
Because
okay.
all these analysts are each other's competition.
Oh, okay. So regardless, they'll talk shit about each other. Okay.
Yeah. And the day Emily got the promotion, everybody was talking about, oh, how did she get the promotion? Because she's only one of the few females, or like the only female analyst, and she's the one who became boss. So now they're talking about, oh, did she, give sexual favors out to get this promotion? So you know how toxic this work environment is.
Yeah.
So then she finds this out that, Luke has no respect in the company. But then she still is like, I mean, what am I supposed to do? Like, I can't just, break up with this guy. I still love him. I'm engaged to him. But he's being a total jerk. She goes home and he's like, he finds this leadership program online, and he enrolls in it and pays a bunch of money to, take online classes to progress or accelerate his career and everything. So he's just, and she comes home drunk and he gets annoyed, like, where were you, and all of that. And he's just like a total, party pooper. She's trying to cheer him up, kiss him, make out with him, and he gives not even half a fuck. He's like, oh, I'm tired, I'm gonna go to bed. And she's like, what the fuck? Like, at least be happy for me. I understand, I'm sorry, but like, there's nothing I can do about it. And then the next day they go to work, blah blah blah, all of this happens. And then he starts, like, psychologically also manipulating her, that once she comes home and like he's, studying his classes and everything, and then she's like, oh, you actually bought the classes? And he's like, yeah, like if I buy the whole package, like I get a 10% discount. And she's like, after spending $3,000, like what difference does that make? You only get like $300 off. And he's like, I think you should also take them. It will help you with your problems with asserting yourself. And she's like, what? And he's like, yeah, now that you're in a position of power, you should, it'll help you become more assertive. And then she's like, oh, so that's what you think about me, that, I'm not assertive enough. And she snatches the book from him and then reads a passage that he was reading about wardrobe and stuff, like how you should look at works for people to respect you. And then she's like, oh, so you think there's something wrong with my wardrobe also now? He's like, yeah, nobody's going to give you respect if you dress like a cupcake every day at work, because she wears like white shirts with ruffles on them. But she doesn't look like a cupcake, because he's just jealous and like
saying whatever sticks.
Saying shit about her, and she really gets affected by it. Like the next day when they're getting ready for work, she really overthinks her wardrobe, like what the fuck am I going to wear now? And she ends up wearing a turtleneck at work, which is completely out of her comfort zone. And then she's really distracted in meetings. And then they have to, like, Luke again comes up with this shares that they should buy. He's like, no, trust me, I've done my research, you should do it, and then she trusts him, buys $300,000, 300,000 units or whatever share, and then she leaves work, goes on her lunch break. She looks at herself and she's really upset about what she's wearing. She goes shopping, buys another satin shirt that she's really comfortable in, or like what her style is, comes back to work, and then Rory is like, where the fuck were you? And she's like, why, what happens? Like, go talk to Campbell. And then turns out the stocks that she buy made them lose $25 million.
Oh my god.
And she's like, what the actual fuck? And then she calls Luke in the office. She's like, I thought you did your whole research, like I trusted you, what the fuck? He's like, it's not my fault, like, everybody was buying it, this company was buying it, that company was buying it. He's full of excuses, right? And like she's just freaking out. She goes to Campbell's office and he's like, you dumb fucking bitch, like I told you to use your own brain, don't like Luke steer you, and then you did that, you have to make up double the amount of money that you lost us. She is stressed, he is stressed. She's like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose my fucking job because of this idiot. She's doing all her research on her own. Luke is trying to call people up to find tips and everything's like, oh hey, like, I heard this. He's not doing the research, like he's not doing the work that he's supposed to find the stocks or new stocks that you should buy. He's just calling people up and asking for favors, like for tips and stuff. Like, oh, tell me what you're buying so, he can buy them before, and all of that. And then she is actually doing her groundwork. Like, oh, she's looking at news articles and stuff. Like, oh, okay, this company is doing well and nobody's talking about it yet, but I know I can see how well they're going to do. So we should invest in this and this, like, doing, covering all her bases. And then they go home that day, they're both frustrated, they don't talk to each other, they're both working on their research and stuff. And then she texts Campbell, like she finds something like she thinks is going to make them a lot of money, but she wants to talk to Campbell first, right? Because now she's like, I need to get approval before I lose my company more money. So she texts him like, can we talk? And he doesn't like immediately reply because he's the big boss. And then she goes to Luke and she's like, this is really stressful for our relationship right now. Let's just, forget about work. Let's just, celebrate our engagement. Be happy for some time. He's like, I'm not in the mood, it's just, I'm stressed and this. And then he's just being an asshole. And then she gets a call from Campbell and he's like, don't answer. And she's like, I have to. He's like, it's midnight. Why do you keep answering his phone? And she shuts him up and answers the phone. And then Campbell is like, I think what you have is, in the right direction. Go for it. Like, do whatever you have to. And then the next morning, she gets like the updated version.
Oh, she has a plan?
Yeah, she has a
Okay.
plan. And the next morning, her plan goes through and like they make a shit ton of money, like more than what they lost. And everybody is happy. All the bosses are really proud of her. And then Campbell comes into her office and is like, just forget about the comment I made the other day. She's like, oh, you calling me a dumb fucking bitch. And they all laugh about it. And she gets handed a check for the commission. And the price and the amount is $500,000
My God.
for the millions of dollars she made for the company. And she's stunned.
Holy
looking
shit.
at that check. She's like, what the fuck? And she slides it in her bag. And then she tries to text Luke's like, let's just, get out of the apartment tonight, grab some drinks. This fucking bitch doesn't reply to her
At all?
at all. And then and she's feeling guilty, I mean, she's conflicted what to do. And then she goes up to him and is like, oh, I got this reservation at this really fancy place. Like Campbell gave me his reservation. Let's just go get food. And he's like, aren't you scared that somebody is gonna see us? And she's like, no, who cares? I can take my analyst out for a dinner, right? He's like, oh, I can't come. So he doesn't go to dinner with her. He instead goes home and studies his fucking what is that? The leadership acceleration program or whatever he signed up for. So she goes to the dinner on her own.
Not the self-help book.
Yeah. She goes to the dinner by herself and enjoys it and comes home and everything. Then Rory gets fired.
Why?
Because he was also apparently not doing that well.
Oh.
So he gets fired. And now Luke is like, okay, so there's another project manager role open. I have to get it. He's really desperate now. Like he knows he's failing and he knows that, he's feeling adequate enough to see that. I think Emily also realizes it. So he goes to her office and then he's like, you have to talk to Campbell right now.
To get him a promotion. But he's done nothing.
Yeah, but now that she knows that, Campbell doesn't like Luke, so she can't say anything because then her credibility goes down the drain.
Even he had the company lose a bunch, so it doesn't look good.
And not once, twice.
Yeah, and he didn't try to make an effort to improve everything either, or like even try to help her.
No apology, no nothing for his mistake. So he's just
demanding for
because he thinks he deserves it more than her. So she refuses. She's like, no, it's not the right time. Like he's taking resumes for that role and everything. I can't just put yours in. And then he tries to insist, and then she blurts it out like, he wants to fire you, so I can't I can't put you up for the promotion. And he's like, oh, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it myself. He goes into Campbell's office. Campbell was on a phone, and then Luke walks in, and Campbell is like, not right now. And he's like, I just need 60 seconds, just hang up. So Campbell hangs up the phone, and he's like,
No. Oh my
your
gosh.
60 seconds start right now. And this man is just he keeps yeah, what is the word?
Oh my god. Humiliating.
Yeah, exactly. Embarrassing himself. And then he's like, I saw you for the first time when I was in school, and then you changed my life. I've always wanted to work for you, be you. I didn't just want to work in finance, I wanted to work for you. And he literally goes on his knees and begs to for the project manager job. And then this guy walks in, and then so Campbell is like, are you done now? He is the new project manager who earned his last company $90 million in the last quarter. So do you think you can do better than him? I thought not. Please go back to your desk. Luke is his reputation is completely obliterated right now. This man has no ground to walk on.
I'm surprised he didn't get fired.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Who was the guy Campbell was pointing to?
Some other guy he hired instead of Rory. Like, he immediately hired this guy. He was already on the payroll, or like they knew that Rory is gonna be gone today, so they'd already hired this other guy who was really, really good. So Luke is like, oh my god, what am I gonna do now? So he leaves work that day. Emily is all frustrated and everything. She's trying to, what do I do now, and all of that. And then that night, instead of going home, all the other guys are like, let's go out drinking, because they have shit tons of money now. Like, what do they have to do? Go home to girlfriends? No, they don't have any. So they go out to strip clubs and stuff, spend a bunch of money, do drugs and alcohol. So that's what they do. Emily goes with them, and they have all these conversations about their college and their frats and all of that. And she's having a blast. She's doing drugs and drinking, and she's one of the boys now. Then again, she goes home really drunk, can't even open her door. She's trying the wrong key. She knocks, and then Luke was asleep already. She comes home, like, he opens the door for her, and he's like, where were you, and all of that. And she's like, oh, I was just out celebrating. And then she puts her purse on the table, and he sees the check for the $500,000 check in her purse, and he completely loses it. He gets so angry at her. And then she's drunk, right? She's trying to kiss him, seduce him, because they're still fiancés, but he wants nothing to do with her. And then she's
Does he burn the check?
What?
Does he do
No,
something?
no.
Thank God. Oh my God.
No. And then he has the audacity to say that you don't deserve this job. You stole my job. He thinks that this girl, did sexual favors to all these people to get the job.
Oh my God. Sit down.
Exactly. And she's like, how can you fucking say that to me? He's like, you told me I'm getting the job. She's like, that was a fucking rumor, you idiot.
Yeah.
Like, do you not realize how wrong you are? Like, what's going on with you? Why are you doing all of this self-help stuff, and like trying to make me out to be who I'm not? Like, what is going on? And he calls her a fucking slut and walks out of the apartment. Ugh. And I'm like, bro,
the irony.
Seriously. Then and then next day he doesn't show up to work. And then that day, like, when Emily comes home, she gets a call from her mom saying that I wanted to be a surprise, but on Friday I'm throwing your engagement party. And she's like, why? I told you I don't want to celebrate right now. She's like, no, you also got promoted and this and this.
Her mom?
Emily's mom is throwing her an engagement party. And she's like, why are you mad at me? I just want to celebrate your big life achievement and stuff. And then Emily tells her mom that, Luke hasn't even told his parents about the engagement, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
Because, like, Emily kept getting texts and calls from her mom about the engagement party and the wedding planning, and she tells Luke this, and she's like, oh my god, my mom is getting on my last nerve. Like, aren't your parents saying anything? He's like, no, I haven't told them yet. And she's like, what? Why?
Yeah, why not? Do we know why?
No, he just didn't tell them, because he's butthurt about him not getting the promotion. So this night when they have this huge fight, he walks out of the door, right? Doesn't show up to work the next day on Thursday. She covers for him, saying that, oh, he's sick, so you cover for him. And then
Mm-hmm.
on Friday, she has this. She's still worried that he's missing. Where I don't know where he is. It's the engagement party tonight. It looks like our relationship is over because
Oh my god.
obviously because he called her a fucking slut
Yeah.
for getting the promotion, and he kept asking her, like, did Campbell do something to you, like, and she's like, I would tell you if something happened, like, the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And then
And you're not seeing the performance too?
yeah,
Like
nothing. He
bruh.
he thinks she doesn't deserve the job, and he does.
Jesus.
So she's in a big client meeting, she's giving the presentation, and then on Friday, this is Friday morning, and then Luke walks into the office drunk, completely off the rails, and then he starts smashing stuff, and then he walks into the conference room where she's giving the presentation, and he's like, oh, I just want to get a coffee. And Emily's like, Luke, there's like another coffee machine in the break room, just go there. He's just being disruptive, right? And then clearly he's drunk. He starts cussing people out and throwing shit around, and they call for security and stuff. And then he tells Campbell that, you think you're better than me, I'm gonna open a new company and bring you down. And then he's like, you think your employees respect you and everything, you don't even know what's going on. Your PM, project manager Emily, has been fucking me for the last 2 years. He tells the boss about their relationship, and not even like the
We're
relationship, he
engaged.
just says that, we've been together. And then he walks out. And
Was she there?
yeah,
Oh my god.
this is happening in front of the client that they're trying to pitch something to. And then Emily is just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what is happening? And then obviously Luke is fired, so he gets escorted out by the security. She is angry, like she's mad. She's like walking all huffy and puffy and calling him, and he has the audacity to not answer. And she's like, you want to fuck with your career, go ahead, don't bring me down with yourself and everything. And she's like, what is wrong with you? She goes to the apartment, he's nowhere to be found. She keeps calling him. She's like, are you not even going to show up to our engagement party? All our family and friends are going to be there.
She
What
still
are you
wants
going to
to
do?
stay engaged with this guy?
At least, but like, she at least has to go to the party, right? Her parents are traveling from everywhere and all of that, so at least they have to keep up appearances. And then she calls his brother, and he's like, oh, he just left, he changed. And she's like, what? He's like, yeah, he got ready for the party, like. She's like, are you serious? He's still going to it? And Luke's brother is all clueless. He's like, what's going on? Like, what's wrong? And she's like, I'll tell you what's wrong. Your brother is a fucking psychopath. And she hangs up on him, goes to the bar where the whole engagement party is happening. And then her mom, Emily's mom, is like, what is wrong with you? I told you to dress up. You couldn't even like brush your hair. You showed up in your office clothes. She's like, Mom, please stop talking. This is not important right now. Where is Luke? She's like, oh, he's sitting at the end of the bar. She walks up to him. He is drunk, out of his fucking mind, and they start arguing. She's like, what is wrong with you? Like, why would you show up here? Do you think this is going to be like a celebration of the end of our relationship? Like, you want to do this in front of everyone? And then they get interrupted by a relative who's like, oh, hi, congratulations, I'm so happy that you guys are both, on your promotions, and you're both working as project managers. And then Emily's like, what? And she's like, yeah, Luke told us that, you both got the promotion and everything, and you're both really happy. And she's like, no, no, no. I don't work with him. He works for me. And he actually got fired today. So there's no promotion, no nothing. He's been lying to you, and this relationship is fucking over. And then he has the audacity to say the same, to put the same allegation on her that she slept her way to the top in front of everyone, all his family, her family, their parents, and everyone. And she gets so angry, she smashes a bottle of beer on his head and walks out of the bar. He follows her, and
he's
then
still alive, no concussion?
no, nothing. Like, I don't know how he survived.
Just the Hollywood glass.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like she's crying, she's running away or like walking towards the bathroom. He follows her. They argue a bunch of more times, and then because they're both drunk, and then they start apologizing to each other. They start making out. It's like, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry, and this and
Ugh.
this. And then they have sex, but then she asks him to stop because, he's hurting her, but he doesn't stop.
Oh my god.
And like she gets a bruise on her cheekbone, and like she's really terrified because he doesn't realize that she asked her to stop, right? So he basically raped her. And then she goes home and she cries and cries and cries that night. He doesn't show up to work. Then the next day, she puts makeup on her bruised cheek and everything, goes to work, and then gets into a one-on-one meeting with Campbell. And then she says that because now she has to save her job, right? Luke has exposed her. She is also going to get fired. So she now has to tell her side of the story. So she's like, I know that, it's against company policy, and Luke has always been around. He kept stalking me and trying to talk to me, but I was trying to be polite, and I stopped his advances, but he is crazy. He kept telling people that we are in love and we are seeing each other, and you saw how unhinged he was yesterday. So I just thought, I have to tell you everything so you don't think anything wrong about me. So she completely, changed the game, and she saved her job. And then Campbell is like, we've all done things we're not proud of. You're fine. Nothing against you. If you need security details, just let us know. But you're fine in the company.
Oh, good.
So she saved herself.
Uh-huh.
And then
She does need security though.
Yeah, exactly.
She should have it.
Exactly. Then she goes home. Luke is sitting at home waiting for her, but he's packed a bunch of boxes. So he's like, so I'm gonna move out. I'm gonna go live with my brother, and then I'm gonna move to California. I have a few friends there who want to start a business with me. So I'm going to start my own firm and everything. And then she's like, do you have nothing else to say? He's like, what else am I going to say? He doesn't even realize what he has done. So she, wipes her makeup off of her face, and she's like, do you not realize that you raped me last night? And he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Nothing like that happened. You wanted it and everything. And she's like, do you think I got this bruise because I wanted it? Like she has a bruise on her forearm, on her collarbone, her cheek is completely swollen,
Oh my god.
and everything. And this bitch, Luke, is just clueless. He's like, don't twist this situation around, and this and this and this. And like, he has no remorse. And he's just like, we were both wrong. We were both angry. It was like in the heat of the moment. She gets so angry, Shreya. She picks up a knife, walks towards him, and she's like, apologize to me. Say that you raped me and say sorry. And he's like, Emily, calm down, calm down. Like, just we can talk about this. And then she cuts him on his forearm.
Oh my god.
And then a bunch more on his, like, upper arm and stuff. And then he starts crying and everything. And she's like, apologize to me. And he's bleeding on her floor. And he's like, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for whatever I did to you. I'm never gonna do that to anyone again. And like, please forgive me. I'm a really bad person. I never should have done all of this to you. And then she's like, thank you. Clean the blood off of the floor of my apartment and leave and never show up here again.
My god.
And that's the end.
That's it?
Yeah.
Shut up. Oh my god.
Yeah. So do you still think this was a thriller?
No, I think the trailer made it look like a thriller because of the way, like the music and the editing and everything. I really thought it was going to be very like malicious.
Yeah.
And
because he has that face.
Because he has that face to be like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's like a little backstabby, but I really thought he was going to actually stand in her way and like kind of throw her off and do something.
He was just trying to pull her down.
Yeah, he was just trying to pull her down, which is sad. But yeah, I really thought he was going to get in her way. But yeah.
It was so fun because like I understand, right? In the beginning of the movie when she gets the promotion, and then I was thinking while watching the movie, where does it go from here?
That when she gets
a promotion, like he's getting jealous and everything. I was like, why did they have to make a movie about this? Like, I did not see this end that she's gonna, go all serial killer on him. But then again, I was like, how do you then end this movie? I guess you just turn the lights off and that's the end of it.
That's a really interesting concept, though.
Mm-hmm. Like they were fine. They were so in love in the first scene, Shreya.
That's
like,
why I was
it
like,
was perfect.
do they love each other?
They really did. Like, they were so into each other. And even, when they went to work and got back home, it looked like they didn't let their work affect anything because they were really cordial at work. And then one thing that he wanted that he didn't get broke everything down. Like, he became an entirely different person, or he became who he truly was. Like, how do you turn into that shit of a person overnight? It was always maybe inside him. And he just, it was a trigger for him.
I think what is it? He didn't get what he wanted, but it's more because she got it.
Yeah, his ego was hurt because it's like, oh, a woman got it, not me. But you don't realize that woman is your fiance. You love her. All of that went out the door the night she told him I got the promotion.
Because if she worked for a different company with the same stuff that he does and everything. Okay, here's another scenario, right? Like, she works for a different company. They're both in line for a promotion in their respective companies and stuff. She gets hers, but he doesn't get his. Like, I wonder if the same would happen, where she is, like, making more than him because she got promoted and he's, like, still at the same level. I feel like that still would have affected him.
Yeah. At one point, he even asked her, like, you should leave, quit your job. And she's like, why should I quit my job? You should leave because you're still at a lower level than me. You can find a job anywhere. He's like, no. Before he went to Campbell's office, this conversation they had.
Yeah, he should leave.
Exactly.
He should be like, oh, I'm happy for you. And because I didn't get this promotion, like, let me look for another job. Because, like, I mean, sure, it's a little weird working underneath the, working for your romantic partner, you know?
Yeah. It's so fucked up.
Yeah, but I see that happening, like, not to that crazy extent, though.
Yeah.
But I see that, like, actually being a possibility for people in day-to-day life.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
So I wonder what that's like.
That's why I think they have really strict policies of please don't date the coworkers.
Don't shit where you eat. As a friend once said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. But, like, the smart decision, if they were mature about it, was to, like, find another job.
Yeah. Even if they were in different departments.
Yeah, that would
have worked.
Yeah.
Because their work has nothing to do with each other. But they were a competition from day one. And then she became his boss. And then that completely fucked with his mind.
Yeah, that's true.
Obliterated his ego.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, it also would have worked if one person was happy with their job and the other wasn't. Like, if he was unhappy where he was and he was like, oh, I hate this place and stuff, and then he decided to leave, he was like, oh, that's good for you, I never liked it here anyways, then it also would have been okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy for you, I hate this place, so I'm just gonna deal with it, like, until I find a new job, but you do you, that would have been fine. Yeah. But because he wanted it, and he held
on to the rumor that he's gonna get the promotion and not her.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Why would people think, like, the rumor shouldn't even exist if he was, like, performing well, you know? Unless they were just trying to, like, I don't know what the tone was and the way the rumor was, but, like, hey, man, do you think, like, Luke's gonna get it? You know, like, in a jokey way, like, oh yeah, who do you think's gonna get it? I don't know, Luke maybe.
Yeah.
If the tone was, like, a little sarcastic because they know that he doesn't perform well, and then she heard it in a different way because she loves him.
Yeah.
And actually thinks he's great, and then she went over to tell him, like, oh, like, I think they think it's gonna be you.
Yeah.
And because he's so egotistical, he's gonna think, oh yeah, of course it's gonna be me because I've been doing so well. But
yeah,
it's not him. But I do feel super bad. I'm glad I didn't watch it. That like
Oh yeah, for
would've-
sure. When I watched it, I was like, oh no, Shreya would never watch it.
Yeah. Literally like 10 minutes in. 10 minutes in, I like if he just shut his feelings off when she got it, I'd be like,
Yeah.
no.
I mean, that's a natural response to a situation like this, right? Because I was like, oh, where will it go from here? But I was curious to know what would they do with this story.
Yeah. He could have, like, she was understanding, right?
She
Like,
was.
oh my God, I know you feel bad and like, I'm happy for myself, so I don't expect you to like celebrate like wholeheartedly.
Yeah, she didn't even
yet.
celebrate anything.
Anything, yeah.
Not her engagement, not her promotion, nothing. All she was walking on eggshells around this ass.
Yeah. Yeah, it does suck. But damn. Yeah, I would not have watched it. I would have lost my mind. I like definitely would have turned the TV off.
Yeah.
I only would have watched it for her. But like the second her outfit changed or like anything, I would have been like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck. No. Absolutely not.
You know, one thing, she's a good actress, but in this movie, she has an American accent and she's not doing a good job at it.
Oh.
It doesn't sound American.
Oh.
You can hear her English accent somewhere in the background.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, the actor, like, just looks irritating too.
He was cast perfectly. I mean, they acted so well in this role. Like, nobody else would have played such a disgruntled person other than him.
But to call the love of your life a slut, you know?
Like, to think a woman can only get a promotion because she hoard herself.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
And we're glossing over the fact that he didn't even tell his parents that they got engaged.
Yeah, because he made it all about the promotion that he lost.
Yeah. And like, yeah, sure, she was so forgiving of it being a drunk promotion and stuff. At least propose again.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, let's do it for realsy this time, you know? Like, you want, like, you know that I'm gonna propose, but I'm gonna do it, like, give me back the ring. I'll do it, like, the way I want it to.
Yeah.
It'll still be a surprise. You wouldn't know when. That would have been cute.
Yeah.
But no.
No.
Ass. I'm sad that he raped her.
Yeah. I did not see that coming. That was a shock to me.
Yeah. I did not see that coming either.
I mean, them making out angrily in that bathroom was a shock to me. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Do you have no self-respect, Emily? Walk away from him. Yeah. He's trash.
Makeup sex. Ugh. It doesn't make sense because they were so... She hated him.
She smashed a bottle on his head.
Exactly.
And then fucked him?
Yeah. That's a little... No. Yeah, especially when he called her a slut in front of everyone. Yeah. Why would you, like, make out with him afterwards?
That was my...
Why would you even want to be in a closed...
I mean, she was running away from him and then he barged into the bathroom. She was trying to lock herself in it to be away from him, but like he...
Girl, get in a taxi.
Into her space.
Get in a car. Yeah. I would stand behind my parents. Because what is the guy gonna do? Yeah. If I'm by myself, I feel like, yeah, like, you know, that's scary. You should just like run away. Yeah. This poor girl.
Seriously. But I'm glad that she was also smart. She played it well at work. She's like, I'm not letting go of this job. Yes. She was good at her work. She deserved every single cent of that $500,000. Yeah,
I'm really happy she didn't tell the truth and be like, oh yeah, we were engaged, we were in love. Like, I'm glad she didn't do that. She just like put his actions and like kind of put it in a different order and stuff. Yeah, I was like, all right, this
she compartmentalized really well.
Yeah, she was smart. Because there's no point like telling all your business and like how it turned and like the competition and blah blah blah. No,
he wouldn't. Because I think she understood how cutthroat her boss was. Yeah, so she knew that she had to play it this way.
Yeah, she was smart,
and she knows like if you have to stay in this business, you have to be emotionless. Yeah, and play the game really well. Yeah, she did that.
She did that great. Yeah, and she knew that this guy is not going to be in her life anymore. So like, why would she want to give him any respect after this?
And sabotage her career in the process. So no.
It's a good thing she called him psychotic. Like, you see how he acted? Yeah. It's like, yeah, girl, he is psychotic. I'm glad she said it that way. Yeah. Instead of telling like, oh my gosh, like blah 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 blah. But holy shit. Yeah. I love the concept though. It's really interesting. But I really thought it was gonna be dark and sinister.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna, I don't know, like
Then maybe you didn't watch the trailer properly.
maybe
Because half the movie is in the trailer, honestly.
That's
Him
what-
screaming at her that you stole my fucking job and the competition and everything.
Yeah, I saw all of that, but I thought when in that scene where she goes to the club or like goes and hangs out with a coworker and she comes back, he's gonna be like, "What the fuck were you doing with them? How could you do that?" I thought it was gonna be like very intense, like, "Get the fuck out! I don't want you in my house, you slut." That's what I thought it was gonna be like.
Yeah.
That's the tone that the trailer gave me, that he was like, he's already the villain, but I thought he was gonna be like very aggressive.
Yeah.
And be like, "Get the fuck out! I don't need your money. Leave." And she's like, but. And he's like, "No, leave! I don't want you here." And she goes to her mom, cries about it, and mom's like, "Fuck doesn't get on the party." That's what I thought it was gonna be. And then he obviously he embarrassed himself like at work.
Yeah.
But I thought he was gonna do like sabotage her.
Yeah. I didn't get it. Like him being actually bad at his work was not the vibe I got from the trailer.
Yeah. That's what. I thought they were equal, but like turns out like he was always shit at his job and they kept him for what? And him being like, "Yeah, we were just hoping he was gonna quit." And I was like, interesting. Yeah. He shouldn't have had his hopes up then. Unless
he thought too much of himself.
Yeah, he did think too much of himself. Yeah, he shouldn't like he's delusional for thinking.
For sure.
Yeah, like, "Oh my god, I'm next."
Yeah.
No, bro, like think about it. You and him losing the company like so much money too.
Exactly.
He thinks he's gonna get a promotion.
Yeah.
It sounds like he didn't even do anything to help that time either.
Because Emily made the money back, not him.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything to help her.
But the time before, remember?
Yeah. The $15 million he lost before, he wasn't apologetic for that either.
Exactly. So why would he think he would get the promotion?
You're delusional. Yeah. You're delusional.
Yeah, I definitely think the rumor was very sarcastic, but she was like, she heard it in a different way.
You're right.
Being like, "Oh my god,
it's you,
it's
babe.
you." And he's like, "Oh my god, really? I always knew it, but like, thanks for confirming."
Yeah.
Especially if she didn't work with him closely, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
And then for him to be like, "Yeah, as soon as I get the promotion, I'm going to get you the promotion. And we're going to be in positions of power. And we
that
can
also
tell
wouldn't
everyone."
have worked.
No.
That also wouldn't have worked if they were the same level. They would have still been competitive because their head boss would have, you know?
Yeah.
And because their head boss seems very like cutthroat and everything, he'd be like, he wouldn't accept their relationship. No. Like, no one's gonna take you guys fucking seriously.
Yeah.
And then the whole tone of the movie is gonna change, where it's gonna be like, "No, I still want just one of you."
Yeah. You know, if he would have gotten the promotion, she was ready to leave so that she could keep the relationship. Yeah, because the conversation they had, "Would you pick the promotion or me?" And he says, "Oh, I would think about it, but still pick the promotion."
Interesting.
Yeah.
But that is a smart decision.
Yeah.
Regardless, like, okay, someone gets a promotion, be like, "Okay, if I can't like prove myself, then I'm just gonna bounce," you know, or move to a different department.
Yeah.
Quality is always hiring.
I don't know how much quality there is in finance.
Yeah,
and
JK,
stockbrokers
I don't know
and
anything
stuff.
about finance.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it wouldn't have worked if both of them got their promotions either. Yeah, it was just doomed.
Yeah.
Because they were coworkers. You guys don't ship where you eat unless they're different departments.
Yeah.
Unless you guys don't work together completely or in different shifts. But yeah, that's a good story though. If this episode piqued your interest and you want more details, then watch the movie. See you in the next episode.